This is Sandrie and Friends, laser focus now.
Hi, and welcome to Sandrie and Friends. Here we are with my friend, Dr. Lauretta Pierce. I'm so excited, Lauretta. Thank you for being with us.
You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Guess
Well,
what?
What?
I'm thinking last week the conversation was awesome, but I want to continue with this conversation so much. There's so much to talk about. I think I want to start with the book.
The book. The book.
Tell me what's happening with that story and just what's unfolding.
When we were talking earlier, I mentioned my ordinary day experience. Waking up that morning, just an ordinary girl, no dream, just an ordinary girl in love with Jesus. He had healed my daughter, gave me that phenomenal $13 an hour job. You know, I keep saying it over and over because I have a 13 foundation. We do $13, 1,300, 13,000
Wow.
to help people with their dreams. But from that point on, the book, my partner at that time, who was the president of Covenant Cookies, kept saying to me, Lauretta, every time, he's Italian, every time I hear the story, I can hear it over and over and over, and I just cry, And he said, you got to write a book, So one day, and I said, Johnny, I'm writing, keep writing, you need to write a book. So I had come up with, if God can use a cookie, because that was my hook. If God can use a cookie to change my life, oh my God, there is no excuse for anybody not believing. I don't care what it is. I mean, people have degrees and they don't believe that they're going to. And the only BA I had was being born again. So, so anyway, if God can use a cookie to do all this, what in the world for the person with a degree or that can speak fluent languages or, who's an artist? Anyway, I vowed to Johnny that I would write. He'd say, write a day, write a. So when things would come to me on mail or toilet paper rolls or
You'd
I'm
just
writing
be
down a
writing
card,
everywhere.
I'd write. And keep all the stuff piled up in a little drawer at home. And I got a call one day, and John said to me, hey, my buddy my buddy Joe Norrie is going to be coming to Spartanburg to meet with you. He wants to talk to you about your book. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, Johnny, because at that point, everything was moving fast.
So did you know who he was talking about?
No, and I'm not a Googler, but also my partner.
Yeah, nowadays any name, right? You
Right.
just look it up and
he knew everybody.
Right,
He
right.
knew everybody. Anyway, so he throws a name out there. I'm like, okay. And I said, when? It was Monday maybe. And he said, he'll be there on Friday. And I said, okay. He said, I'll send you the number. Get your transcript together so that he can look at it. And so I figured, I don't know, maybe he was an editor, maybe he was a ghostwriter, had no idea. And so I get a text message from Joel that says, I'll be there Thursday. And now we're on Wednesday. And
we still don't know who he is.
don't know who he is and don't have any transcripts.
Okay.
Okay?
So what's the purpose of the
What's
meeting?
the problem? No, what's the problem?
Well, what's the problem? True.
Problem is no. Okay, so
No
I'm
script.
thinking, oh my gosh, what am I gonna do now? So I'm thinking. He said we'll meet for lunch, and I'm thinking, okay, it'll be a quick lunch. I'm not interested. I don't know what I'm just gonna tell him I don't have transcripts. So we decide to meet at Starbucks, and I grab all the papers that I'm writing on, and I stuff them all in a big envelope, and I go into Starbucks, and I see the gentleman I know that recognizes has to be Joel, and he meets me, and we greet, and I take the envelope, and I sit down, everything's on my lap, I'm under the table, and we order cappuccinos or whatever, And I looked at him, and he looked at me, and I said, I don't even know why you're here. I'm sorry. I don't even want to waste your time. I don't, I don't, I'm not writing a book. I just write little bits and pieces, and I just don't even, and, I'm fumbling over my words, and he's just looking at me, shaking his head like you and smiling. And all of a sudden it hit me. And I said, wait a minute, wait a minute. And I'm looking around the Starbucks, and I said, wait, this used to be a Shoney's restaurant. Remember, I had 4, 5, 6 jobs. And I said, I was a waitress here. And he said, you were? And I said, I used to be a waitress here. And then I said, hey, Joe, look up. So he looks out the window, and I said, up on the hill is the hospital. I worked there, second shift, here in the morning. There is like, all this is coming back to me. And I said, I worked there, second shift. And he said, you did? And I said, yep. And you want to hear something? On the 7th floor was the doctor's area, and my kids, we didn't have electric water. My kids would come after school and stay in the doctor's
Did you
in
say
their
you
room.
did not have electric or water?
No, both were disconnected.
Keep going.
Both were disconnected. So my children would come after school, and they would shower. All the nurses knew they took care of my kids. Then I would be on the floor, and they would, and the staff down in the oh my God, the staff down in the cafe knew, and they would cook dinner for them, and then I would pay when I got paid. And I mean, we would go through the menu. Corey like macaroni and cheese and chicken fingers, and so the kids would shower and sit in the recliners and do their homework and watch TV. And sometimes we would walk home. And I'm telling Joel this story because it's coming back to me. And he said, excuse me for a minute. And he went to the bathroom. And he came back and he said, continue. And I continued telling him the story. And then we started talking about covenant cookies and how that happened. Because at that time, I had become the cookie lady in Atlanta. But now I have a home in Atlanta and in South Carolina. So I'm back in the Carolinas working on the bakery. And so I continued this story, and Joel got up again and said, excuse me for a minute, and he went to the bathroom again. And by the third time, I looked, and Joel had been weeping over the story. And so I'm moved, and I'm thinking, okay. So, and he said to me, what is the name of the book you've been writing? And I said, If God Can Use a Cookie. And he loved it. And he said, is there anything else, any kind of hook, anything else that you say? And I said, I do. And he said, what is it? And I said, on an ordinary day. Because on a regular day, with no expectation of anything, by 12:30, my life had forever changed from a whisper from God. So does everyone else, word of God in a cookie. And
I love that, from a whisper
from God.
from God. You paid attention and you were able to hear the whisper.
On an ordinary day.
On an ordinary day.
And Joel said, I love that title. And then I said, who are you, Joel? Tell me about you, because now we're dialoguing like you and I. And he said, well, and he went through the story about himself a little bit, and that he worked for, there was a publishing company called Destiny, Film and Publishing. It was one of the largest Christian writing companies. And he began to tell me all the amazing things about that company and how they allow an employee to live on one of their properties, a home, for a whole year to save money and build their own house or buy their own home. Just things that I loved. And I said, this is amazing. Why would they send you here to see me, though? I'm just blown away. And he said, who? And I said, the owners of Destiny. Do you know them? Do you know them personally, Joe? And what do you think he said to me?
He's the owner.
He said, I am the owner. And so from that moment on an ordinary day, I began to write that. But since that time, I had other offers, so I'm now working on something powerful.
So powerful.
Yeah.
That I can't wait. I can't tell it all.
Yeah.
I'll just share with you. that
Three
you live
sisters
to
on
hear.
Maine.
3 sisters on what?
On Maine.
And you better get ready because you will see it on a major network.
Yeah.
It's coming soon.
Three
I wish I
Sisters
could
on
tell it all,
Maine.
but we're going to have Lauretta back because she has to tell us the story of how this all unfolds and what major network picks up the story and it becomes a movie and the rest is history. But you know, Lauretta, when I think about just all that's unfolded, I think I want to hone in on this, how God brought you into my life.
Oh, wow.
It's so, to me, it's so powerful.
A whisper from God.
A whisper, exactly.
A whisper from
that.
God.
I was getting ready to travel to Monterrey, Mexico. I was
Mm-hmm.
speaking at a conference over there. Actually, I'll never forget, Profits Arise. Thousands of people come to that conference. And I had a layover in Dallas, Texas. I recall I received a phone call from a government official, and I was doing some work behind the scenes, and there was this beep that kept, and I would look at my phone, and I would say, I don't know who that person is, but let me backtrack. Before I got on flight, I was getting ready for my conference at the convention center in Atlantic City.
Okay.
At the Sheraton, and everything was in place except my keynote speaker. And I decided to post that flyer. I post a flyer, and my husband says to me, "Why are you posting the flyer with all the workshop presenters, with all, and no keynote speaker?" And I literally said to my husband, that whisper,
Whisper
which
from
said,
God.
"You post it. By the time you return from Monterrey, Mexico, you will have your keynote speaker." So I said that to my husband, and he goes, "I've never seen you do such a thing." I said, "Well, there's always a first time, and this is it." It's about, I still have that message on my phone.
Because
So
it was,
finally, I answer to the call, and literally, you say, "I'm Dr. Lauretta Pierce,
You
blah,
don't
blah,
know
blah."
me.
You
You may
don't
not know
know me.
me.
Do you recall that call?
yes. Because for me, I didn't even, I just saw the flyer. And I don't think I even realized there was a keynote or wasn't a keynote. When I saw the flyer, I was just drawn to it for whatever reason. And again, the whisper from God said, contact them and go. And for free. You must
Unbelievable.
do this.
So
You
when
must.
I always say, when we talk about God's favor, it to me, when people ask me, "How did you meet her?" Nothing but God. Stay connected. We'll be right back, and I'll tell you what unfolds. And when you really listen to the voice, that whisper, what unfolds is amazing.
Oh, I
We'll
got
be
chills.
right back. Hi, this is Sandrie with Sandrie and Friends. I want you to follow me, connect with me, keep me posted. We got to keep this conversation going, flowing. So connect, social media, through email, website, whatever. I want to hear from you. Love you. Hi, I want you to watch me on Dominion TV, Sandrie and Friends. Time and day is below.
This is Sandrie and Friends. Laser focus now.
Hi, and we're back. Let me tell you my experiences. God is amazing. So I left off by saying that I'm at the airport. My phone keeps ringing. I finally answer. "Hi," the person says at the other end. "I'm Dr. Lauretta Pierce." Well, I don't know who Dr. Lauretta Pierce is. "I'm the cookie lady." Well, I don't know who the cookie lady is. And I've been this and I've been that and I've been on that major network and this one knows me. I remember when you mentioned Steve Harvey, I said, "Okay, I know Steve."
Yes,
The
yeah.
700 Club, TBN, ABC, NBC, the NBA. And I listened to the whole story. But the punchline, I just saw your flyer. I would love to just come and share with you women. Just give me a few minutes. Their life will never be the same. And I'm listening to this person that says to me, "I don't want you to pay me. I'll fly myself in. You don't have to do nothing. Just say yes." So here I am at the other end. I don't know her. Just remember that.
Never
a
heard.
whisper. And I say yes. After I say yes, Lauretta says, "I promise you I'll be there." Now, if you know me, I'm about dot your I's,
Yeah,
cross
yeah.
your T's, confirm, reconfirm, sign everything. I guess
Please
that's the
advise.
corporate.
Please advise. Please advise.
Right? You know me already. Oh my God. Everything is please advise. I don't know, between government, ministry, and corporate. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you
Cover
wear
every
all
base.
these hats. That's right. You flip the hat and flip the. But I'll tell you what happened. Fast forward. We just kept speaking on the phone, and it was see you there, and it was a text, and there was no emails back and forth. And my staff, my team was saying to me, have you lost your mind? Have you lost your mind? And I was just saying, no, I know she's going to show up. She will be there. Lo and behold, the day of the conference, she arrived.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So when people ask me, what did you do? How much did you have to pay her? I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about.
You know, when you do it for it, I guess I want to say the Lord, but when you have an agenda, and most people do, that's absolutely fine.
Mm-hmm.
But when you are graced by God, and you know that every breath you take, every door that opens, every person, whether it be, it's incredible that I remember someone prophesying to me, and I was hard on prophecies. I'm not that girl. But years ago, when I was getting the $200 a week in unemployment, a dear friend, a minister, said, she held my hand, she was shaking, and she said, Lauretta, God told me to tell you that you, and she was shaking, and she said, you will be speaking to millionaires. You will be praying for millionaires. It's you, Loretta, it's you. And I remember looking at her and said, I called her 12. Her name was 12ina. And I said, 12, have you and God lost your mind? You, and she said, I'm going to have a woman's homeless shelter. I said, you are on disability. I get $200 a week. Just don't come to me. I just did not even comprehend.
It couldn't register.
No. And when God supernaturally just did a spin on this girl's life, and I wound up in Atlanta, it was all predestined that I had to lose everything. I remember saying when they were putting my stuff out, I said, oh God, and I was telling the story, and I said I was evicted, and they put my things out, and I had a U-Haul, and then God stopped me in the middle of it, talking, and the Lord spoke, and I heard God speak, and I said, okay, I said, God just said something to me. He said, you weren't evicted, you weren't put out. I had movers. You had
They
to
were
move.
moving you towards
You
your
had to
destiny.
move. Oh my God, yes. And so I'm in Atlanta, and then I come back to the Carolinas looking for her. And because I wanted to bless her for speaking into my life, and she had already knew. And lo and behold, I said, where can I find Pastor Thomas? And they said, Pastor Thomas is in Emmett, South Carolina. She owns or is in charge of director of New Beginnings Women's Homeless Shelter. And so those words were so prophetically spoken, but to this day, to not just be friends, but to be a mentor, to be the praying partner for so many celebrities whose names I could never even tell. Do you know, from rappers to actors to get the call, please pray, please. And it's mind blowing. So going back to when he opens that door and he whispers in your ear, you know without a doubt, you have to go.
You have
You know
to.
it's an honor to go.
It is an honor.
And you know that day it was
It
everything
was
in the
so
world went
powerful.
wrong.
Atlantic City woke up.
But it took forever. But when I got in there, you know what? I didn't get the message till I got there, and the message was in Daniel, before your words were spoken, I have come. I have come in regards to what your heart was speaking. Before your words were spoken, God has come. Before we even, sometimes we're so broken like I was, that you can't pray. I remember those days of not even being able to say, just laying there
You're
moaning.
totally
Just
numb.
moaning. But before those words were even spoken, God has come. He's coming, to answer
He's
those
come.
prayers.
He's come. Total obedience
Yeah.
produces radical results, followed by radical blessings. I obeyed the Lord that day. It was about 6:30 a.m.
And we have been
in the
connected
morning
at the
at
hip.
the airport. We connected
Uh,
at the hip, and we've been friends
oh,
ever since. When people ask me, "Well, how did you gain her as a friend?" and how this and how, I said, you know what? That was a heavenly setup. That was a divine setup, a God setup. But it's so amazing to me because at a global level and at a local level, we're able to work together,
yes.
whether it's ministry, whether it's corporate, whether it's government, and just go in and let our light shine and really talk about His greatness, His goodness, His
Oh,
faithfulness, taking you out of the pit. You hit rock bottom to go to the top, to
I
the
say
rock.
rags to better rags.
What? To stand on a solid, solid rock.
It's
I
just
listened
amazing.
yesterday when we were having dinner with the team, and I, for some reason, I just love the way you tell your testimonies in that story form. How you wrap it up, you captured our attention, and every time I hear you say how, especially the family, bringing the family together and blessing your family and being able
Oh, the park
to
and
the
yeah,
park and
and
take over
here
a
and
park and
here.
be able to pay for
Well,
shut the park
who
down. Do you
who who
understand?
who are you?
Who are you
What
but
cousin are you?
God? When you walk in His favor, when you walk in His favor, it's unbelievable to you. It may be unbelievable to me, but it takes for us to do the possible,
Yeah.
for God to step in, what? And do
Blow our minds with the
exactly,
impossible.
absolutely. And to me, anymore, I say, Lord, shock me, just don't kill me. But I love the thrill. I love the excitement of keep it going. The thunder, what
Yeah.
happens, what erupts within inside of us. I just, we owe it all to Him.
And this week when we serve the homeless with gift bags, that's why it was so important that I have children write letters to them, love letters to let them know that a lot of these people are rock bottom, but we just want them to know that even there, God loves you enough to put it on my heart or your heart or other people's heart to love on them, and so. Yeah, you're just reminding me of my purpose, even with that. To
Wow.
continue,
Greater
to
purpose.
continue, to continue to be a light and in such a dark world and show His love. And I don't know. I mean, if God does anything else, I don't even, I don't even know. I don't even know.
Well, and it's loving, loving. It's all about love. At the end of the day, it
Yeah,
doesn't matter what all you do, how you do it, when you do it. Love, love, love.
yeah,
That goes beyond words.
yeah,
When you love, you're adding value
yeah.
to people, and it's not just stepping in there and an act of love is worth more than 1 million, more than 2 million. Literally,
Yeah.
it's life.
You can
You
show me better than you can
impact
tell me. Yeah.
absolutely, and we're impacting lives. At the end of the day, are you impacting lives? I think that. When I think about what the Lord has done for you, Lauretta. But then
Oh,
I take it a step further. There is no secret
oh,
in
he
what
could.
God can do.
What He's
And
done
what
for
He's done for
others,
others,
He'll do for
He'll
you.
do for
They
you.
knew something when they wrote those words.
Absolutely.
They knew something exactly.
There's no secret. There's no secret. And
There's no
right
respecter
here
person.
is absolutely, I mean, the story, you hear $200 check to 2 million. Listen, 2 million right now, when you talk about it and all that's unfolded in your life, much more than that has been made here. But you are always grateful. You
Oh
are
yeah.
always serving. We cannot forget where He's brought us from. And I celebrate the
Yeah.
mere fact that we could sit here, talk about it, share. We're sharing with you. We're sharing with you. So I'm not quite sure where you're at right now in life,
Wow.
but I sure do know the one that can make the difference. Make the difference is the difference. Will make you to stand on solid ground. God is faithful, Loretta.
Yes, He is. And Don't ever forget about those ordinary days. I remember when I was talking to Joel and he talked about having a pen at the end of the story saying today write your ordinary day. And I would encourage people to wake up, especially in despair, looking for this day to be the day of change. Yeah.
This day is your day of change. I'm excited that you joined us, and just stay with us. We'll be back. Hi, this is Sandrie with Sandrie and Friends. I want you to follow me, connect with me, keep me posted. We got to keep this conversation going, flowing. So connect, social media, through email, website, whatever. I want to hear from you. Love you. Hi, I want you to watch me on Dominion TV, Sandrie and Friends. Time and day is below.
This is Sandrie and Friends. Laser focus now.
You fought for me before I ever knew you. You fought for me. You fought for me before I ever loved you. God, you fought for me. You fought for me before generations before. God, you fought for me. You fought for me. God, you fight for me. God, you fight for me. You're my great defender. You go before me. You go before me. With an army of angels, you fight for me. Battles already won. You never stop fighting for me. Before I was even thought of, God, you fought for me. You fought for me. When I didn't love you, God, you fought for me. You fought for me. In my weakness, your strength is made perfect. You fight for me. You still fight for me. I lost all my hope. God, you fought for me. You still fight for me. God, you fight for me. God, you fight for me. God, you fight for me. You're my great defender. You go before me. You go before me. With an army of angels, you fight for me.
Hi, this is Sandrie with Sandrie and Friends. I want you to follow me, connect with me, keep me posted. We got to keep this conversation going, flowing. So connect, social media, through email, website, whatever. I want to hear from you. Love you.